0.
Hey, that'll get you going.
Oh, welcome everybody. We got Be Charming, Lori's World, Robert Bates. Uh, yeah, not going to talk about food. I never talk about food. So, Copycat, TN Twister, TH2. Hey, Heroic Pepper, how you doing tonight? Hope everybody's having a nice. It was nice out today. Oh man,
Yeah, it was.
I started doing some work in the garage. Got me one of those little, uh, not a chalkboard, but a dry eraser board, so I can put my measurements and everything for uh, my little garden bins or whatever you want to call them. And I tore apart one of the crates that I get down the road here, so I could use it for a raised bed. So I'll be able to put another raised bed out there. I'll have actually an extra 2 out there now. So
Nice.
that'll be good. One of them I have to get rid of because it just rotted up after 3 years, but I don't care. I get them for free. I mean, I could go out there and paint them, and they would last a little bit, but you can't paint the inside because that's where the soil goes, and I don't want, you know, lead paint or, well, they don't make lead paint anymore that I know of, but you don't know what's in the paint nowadays. My garlic is doing pretty good. It's about yay big old leaves. It got hurt a little bit with some frost. So I'm hoping we don't get too much more frost by then. Um, yeah.
I'm still patiently waiting on mine as well.
How's your corn doing?
Oh yeah, my North Carolina corn is doing pretty good. I think it was like the smallest one the other day. I said, well, I'm gonna just sacrifice it just so I know if it's doing anything under the dirt. Seems like it's developing pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't really know until unless you cheat and dig around and try to feel how it's forming
Yeah,
and whatnot. But yeah, this is the first time I grew the elephant garlic. Usually, I just get the white, um, whatever you call it, the normal small little white ones.
yeah. Forget the particular variety I got. It's a soft neck variety.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about getting a torch and doing it that way. At least the inside, and paint the outside. But it's um, they throw away these things like 3 or 4 times a week, so I could go down there. I just have to be at the right time and go by early and see these crates. I'll make it. I've started a video on it already, showing me taking it apart and taking the bottom off of it and stuff. I think it's the same kind that Gail has in her garden. But like I said, they throw them away 3 or 4 times a week. So if if I knew I wouldn't be able to get them anymore, then I would probably do the wood burning and stuff. Come on, get up there. But yeah, I think I'm not going to fill it all the way up with dirt because it's 21 inches, and I don't need that. It don't need to be that deep for what I'm putting in there. My grass, I mowed the back grass. I've got an electric lawnmower. It's a battery operated one, so I get about half the yard done. So that means one day I do the backyard, the next day I do the front yard.
Ain't
Which,
bad on that. Ain't bad on electric though.
oh no. When you first got it, I could do the whole yard. And
Oh yeah.
but now you can see where it's losing its oomph. But it's a mulcher, and I can also put the bag on it so I can save the clippings and whatnot. The Usually the first couple weeks I do the mulching bit on the grass because it's real good for the grass. And then I just go bag it that way I put it in my compost bin since I don't get leaves anymore. And I have a mushroom growing on my tree trunk out there. It's not the one I want though.
No, it's a good environment for the mushrooms then.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Um, because some trees you can't grow mushrooms won't grow on them.
Yeah, I forget the actual scientific name, but most trees produce a natural chemical that keeps mushrooms off of them like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh man, I can't remember the word for that now. It's the same thing that you can't grow some trees next to other trees because they won't produce any fruit.
yep.
Like a poplar tree, if you grow it next to an apple tree, it won't produce anything. Um, different trees do that, and I ran into that issue when the tree half the tree fell the first time. It landed on my tomato plants, and within 3 days, the tomato plants went poof and died.
Mm.
It was like a and it, and they and the thing is, just the leaves fell on top of uh, the green leaves fell on top of the tomato
You there,
plants.
Watt?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, Eric, how's you
Are
how you
are
doing?
you there? I know you can't be here, so you have to be there. Yeah, it was. I think we ended up getting up to 86 here today. It was pretty nice.
Yeah, pine Lake knows all about that pine stuff. That pine sap is such awesome stuff, though.
Yeah, until you get it all over your hands and you didn't want to.
Yeah. um, we used to go out and collect it, and then put it in a little can and melt it down and put it on a stick, and then take that and put it in a bug out bag or or whatever, because that's some of the best stuff for. I mean, there's hundreds of uses for that.
Oh yeah, as uh, I guess a fire starter, an adhesive. A lot of different uses.
Yeah. Hey, 101.
Man, what's 101 doing out? The sun's still up.
Hey,
Good to see you, buddy.
the new chicks. Oh, did you get rested up?
It's not enough
Yeah,
hours in the day to rest up.
today would have been a good day to go get soil, but once I was out there, doing stuff, mowing, weed eating, and then working in the garage, I was moving slow.
But you was
I'm
moving though. You was getting stuff done.
Yeah, it's good to get out there instead of being stuck in the house waiting to do stuff, which I have to figure out what I'm gonna do with my plants. Oh, they're growing so much.
Oh yeah.
I got to get up there and clip the centers of my jalapenos now because they're well, I can't even put it on the screen. They're big. they're
Nice.
everything that's in the shelves is pushing against the top shelf.
Nice.
Hey,
Clipping
Bear.
the tops of your peppers, is that something that anybody would do, or is that just something that somebody would do until they get them out to their permanent locations?
Um, there's and this it's all up to you. There's belief that when you clip the top of it out,
Hmm,
it instead of putting all of its energy to go big, it goes out this way and fills it out with peppers.
gotcha. I haven't ever really done that to mine. I may do a little experiment this year on a couple just to see the differences in them.
Yeah, that's the best way. And that's the thing is you want when you test it, you don't want to test it for one year and then you don't really get many peppers on any of them. You want to do like half and half,
Yeah,
half of the same. You kind of want to do a controlled test.
yeah, keep it more controlled that way so you can actually see your results than just kind of guesstimating, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, we had like a little function. My boss cooked on the grill Saturday for the employees, and his sister brought some cowboy candy she made. Oh man, that was some
Ooh.
good stuff.
I can't wait. That's the
So,
first thing I'm making as soon as I get enough. All I need is to make a batch is 3 pounds of jalapenos, and then I'll be good.
I told her I'm gonna get her to make me some. I said, "Shit, I'm gonna have more than enough jalapeno peppers ready. You just let me know when you want to make it."
Yeah, I got spoiled with that stuff. I was like, oh, everything. Dinner time come, I was like, oh, I wonder what this would taste like on there.
Shoot, I'm the same way. I could eat a jalapeno or a pepper with any meal.
And I would love to make that bacon onion stuff that Needy Homesteader makes. Oh, that stuff looks really good.
Mm,
I did find a place. I have to drive out of town, of course, but not too far from here. Um, there's a market that gets in farm food, fresh food, and sells it at a pretty cheap place. We never talk about food, B. Never. Eric, is your mic working?
Yeah, my StreamYard was screwed up. I got dumped like 3 times.
Oh,
My server. Do I sound all right?
yeah, you sound good.
Okay. I'm just trying to catch up in chat. Say hello. Good evening. How you doing, Mr. Watt?
Oh, I can't complain none. Wouldn't do no good if I did.
We can always complain, but the truth.
I did come across this web page that had some old time cooking on it. And one of the things, because I've had it before, I wouldn't say I was a fan of it, but it it wasn't bad. Um, it was Possum Belly, and it's where they take their its stomach and they stuff it with a bunch of goodies. Uh, being most of it would be the meat from the possum and carrots and potatoes and all that stuff, and you just bake it. It's if you was to look at it when it come out of the oven, uh, you probably wouldn't eat it because you can tell it's stomach. But I don't know. I'm always the thing. You got to try it and then decide from there. Yep, possum belly. Yeah, and it's what does it say? Cookbook of the day of Granny or something like that. Oh, Granny's Hillbilly Cookbook.
That sounds
And
interesting.
it looks like Granny from Beverly Hillbillies.
She was always trying to cook up a possum or raccoon, even in Beverly Hills.
Yeah. And one of the things that actually tells you how to do it, you know, um, and I seem to remember my grandpa doing this too because I remember him having a cage with raccoons in it, and he was feeding them. And I didn't ask any questions or anything at the time, but now I kind of know because there's possums are scavengers, and you need to clean them out basically, and you feed them corn or something like that to clean them out.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, cow tongue, pickled cow tongue. That's some good stuff. Um, but you you keep them for a few weeks and feed them and uh, get them you know cleared out, and then you do the business. And uh, she Granny herself tells you to after you clean out the innards, um, you duck them in hot boiling water and scrape off all their hair, um, and then proceed to proceed to cook. And she also says you soak it in salt water overnight. Then the next day is when you cook it. That way, you know, and that's just for people that taste the gaminess in meat. I I I never taste gaminess. It just tastes like meat to me.
I'm saying it would be my first choice, but if I had to, we got plenty of possums and raccoons around here.
Yeah, I've had raccoon too, but they're real gristly and greasy. The one I had.
Can't say I've had either one to my knowledge that I know of.
I could say the same that I know of. You know, you
Yeah,
get
it's
one of
hard
those ma and pa restaurants right along the road. You don't know what you're getting in there, pot pie or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, they're in San Francisco, and that's where the story came from. Was all the neighborhood cats started coming up missing. We found out that the Chinese restaurant down the street was passing it off as chicken.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought about that too in all my years eating different Chinese restaurants. You know, you just never know.
It's something I did a long time ago. Well, it wasn't that long ago. It was a couple of years ago. We were sitting in the back, right next where they come out with all the food at the Chinese buffet, and I put the sound effects. People sticking their head up, trying to figure that out, and I'd play it whenever the door would open. Man, people getting all worried.
Check, please.
I should do it now and then make a short of it. I'd be famous.
Yeah.
There was there not too long ago. There was this YouTuber or streamer or whatever he was. He goes out and he starts fights with people, and then when they're about ready to womp on him, oh, I'm a YouTuber, I do this. Well, one time it didn't work, and somebody beat the living crap out of him.
I still see those shorts on YouTube.
Yeah, and there's and I used to know, I can't remember his name. His motto was "Smile More," I think it was something smile. Dang it, I can't remember his name now. He started off doing skits like that, and he got real popular. And every once in a while, he never did anything. Well, he would go up and act like he's stealing gas out of somebody's car, and then they would chase him down. It's a skit, you know, or it's a prank, and they're still chasing him. He's got hit a few times.
Yeah.
Oh, I imagine, yeah.
He normally gets people in Walmart when they're in an aisle looking at something.
Every once in a while his family's on there, and he did this skit in his house with his wife. He had this doll, and because they just had a baby, and he's down on the floor playing with the baby, and then he switches it out with the doll, and then flips over, and the baby goes flying over the railing to the first floor, and the mother, yeah, that's it. Atwood.
Atwood. I think I've heard of him.
Yeah, and she goes scream and holler down there, and just finds it was just a doll. He does this all the time too. He had a son riding on a 4-wheeler, and then he remote controlled it to do this jump, and then it burst into flames on a vehicle or something. Oh man, I'm surprised they're still together.
I wonder if he's the guy that leaves the baby seat on top of the car when he takes off. That's
yeah,
cool.
I think he's the one that started that too.
I mean, that's the people are throwing projectiles at his car just to get him to stop.
Yeah, and there's the ugly baby one where you know how when you push a baby, there's always somebody. Oh, look at the cute baby. Well, it was a remote control baby that had an evil face and it would pop up and
It's always funny when it's done to somebody else. I don't know how I would react to something like that.
yeah. Oh. I was trying to come up with, and I should already do this. There's an actual app, or not an app. Well, they probably have apps too, but a computer blueprint thing that would um, you can put out wherever your garden is, and you can put, like, if you have raised beds or whatever, and you can decide where you're going to plant everything and how far it is apart, and you can plan all your garden out before garden time is. I did that once and I didn't follow it at all. So I've never done it again. And I was thinking that might be a good thing just to, plan something like that.
Oh yeah, get that way you can get some type of visualization how it's going to be.
Yeah.
Kind of do that with mine. I kind of draw a little picture and kind of sketch it out a little bit and figure what's going to be the best placement. Stuff gets higher than other stuff.
Hey, Vester. Yeah, that's what I was going to ask Chet. Does anybody else do that, or do they just wing it and start planting here and there and see what empty spots you have and just put something there?
I'm
Because
probably like you. I start with a plan, then I just start slowly getting more into winging it.
yeah.
I know with my raised beds, I kind of break them down by foot. So it kind of gives you a visualization. You can get the most out of each square foot of your garden or your raised bed.
Yeah, the one metal raised beds, which there's videos of me putting them together and stuff. Um, there might be, I don't know, because YouTube's taken some of my videos away. But when I got them, I was all excited because it was really cool, raised beds and this and that. But those things suck because it's 4 foot by 4 foot. I've got long arms, I can get in there, but the fact is, it's the wrong dimensions. The Now, if the beds would have been like 8 foot by 4 foot, maybe that would have been something. But it just seems like I'm always reaching in to get to the middle stuff, and I have to squeeze over to get something on the other side. So I think if I was to, you know, make my own beds, I think they would be maybe 2 foot or 3 foot by a long amount, 8 foot or something like that.
Yeah. That way you can read. You're not straining to get all the way across it.
Yeah. Because normally when I go out there to pull weeds or something, I'll sit down on one side and just sit there and pull weeds and fiddle with the plants and whatnot. But the fact is, I have to go all the way around this thing, sitting next to it, unless I, lean way over and whatnot. But I just rather just go pull the weeds or whatever.
What is B talking about? Winn Dixie Bakery, they usually toss them. What is he talking about?
Buckets probably.
Yeah, buckets.
Throw them
Squirrel.
out. Okay.
I don't have any trays for squirrels, so I don't know. I've never really had problems with squirrels. If I did, I'd have them for dinner.
Yeah.
But Jeff would be a good one to ask about squirrel problems.
I got a bunch of squirrels. I've had them get into beds and like dig around, but not really like destroy nothing. But it's very rare. I try to bribe them with
Yeah.
goodies and stuff on the other side of the yard so they don't mess with the other side.
Yeah,
But,
they'll hide their nuts.
That's right.
And they'll bury their nuts
literally,
and put them in there.
yeah. But I got a couple outside cats that doesn't come up. They keep the squirrels at bay for the most part.
Yeah, my rabbits are good. I got one that keeps destroying his water container, so that's a pain. I
Was he
think
chew on it?
well, they kind of do that anyway, but it's one that when it gets water in it, it levels out and it shuts the water off. Well,
Gotcha.
he sticks his head up there and smushes it up so that spring got strung out. So
Oh,
it kind of sets up like this, so the water pours out all the time. So that's not good because I have to keep filling his water dish up all the time. Now I think what I'm going to do, because I got a dog cage, for in case I needed to transport them or whatever. So I'm going to put a couple of them in the dog cage and put them in the yard and then keep moving them around. That way, I don't have to feed them as much.
yeah, like chickens, like a mobile chicken house.
Yeah. The only thing is, like today, it was really hot, and they do get all their water from what they eat, but I still have to keep an eye on them, especially the white ones because the sun will actually burn them.
Hmm. How many rabbits you got in total now?
4 at the moment.
Gotcha.
And yeah, I don't talk about the other stuff that happens with the rabbits because I've got plenty of hate mail because they think they're my pets. They have purposes. One of them is their poop. The other one is their meat.
I
And
think for
that's
most.
the thing. I wasn't planning on the eating part of it. I was just planning on. We had 2 males. One of them evidently wasn't a male because we had babies. So I had to get another cage, build another cage, and separate them. No, not no fur coats. But if I lived somewhere that wasn't where I'm at now, I would probably save the fur. But yeah, drying it out here, I would have people calling on me. They call on me as it is. So
Oh, I could imagine.
I've actually my front uh, flower bed. I've got a big old flower bed in front of the house. Um, I've actually had the health department come and tell me I had to pull the weeds out of my flower bed. And I go out there and I said, "Where's the weeds at?" And he said, "All these dandelions." And I said, "No, those are not weeds." Those, and I had to explain to him what I use dandelions for. I say, use the roots. I eat the greens. And sometimes I may decide to use the flowers to make wine or soap or something. And he said, "Well, they're considered weeds." And I said, "No, they're not." And I had to prove to him that they're not weeds.
Yeah, actually, by their definition they give, it's not a weed if you know that it's beneficial and has purposes.
Yep. And every time I see a dandelion with the little puffball thing where you blow on it, I take the seeds and I spread them in my flower bed.
Yeah.
And I've actually had regular flowers in there, but they they were just flowers. You couldn't eat them or they didn't have any benefits. And I was like, what's the purpose of that?
Hmm.
And if you look at the yards next to me, they don't have dandelions in their yard. So the I don't I don't mess with any of the dandelions that are on the edges of my property because I don't know if whatever they put on their lawn will seep into uh, my area. So that's why I put all my dandelions in that flower bed because it's far enough away and it's up on a hill to where it's not going to bother my dandelions.
Yeah, it's just all them years of programming, they show a weed spray commercial and the flower they show is a dandelion. Without knowing, people just don't know any better.
Yeah, they they get the message in their head that your grass, you can't have anything in there on your lawn except for the grass. If not, it's a horrible looking lawn or whatever. And if I go in my backyard, and I really hated to do this, but I had to mow, and I had thousands of violets, the little purple flowers,
Yeah,
all over my backyard. And to me, I think that looks so much better than just a green grass. I've known people that dug up all their grass and grew nothing but clover.
yeah, I've seen a video on that. Yeah,
Yeah, and clover takes way less water. There's no chemicals needed for it,
and
and
it doesn't grow that high.
yeah, you don't hardly ever have to mow it or anything.
Around here, I need to do more research on it, but we got a bunch of clover that just grows wild around here.
Yeah, and did you know that the Indians used to pick if they had uh, diarrhea, they would pick clover and suck on the leaves, and
Hmm.
it would stop their diarrhea. And because it's okay to eat clover, but um, to stop that, you know when you eat it, you don't get constipated. You have to you have to dip it in salt water.
Yes, nature has a way of fixing stuff. You just know
Yeah.
a little bit.
Um, I really would like to know what this conversation's about.
I've got such a good reply to that, but I
Oh,
can't be bad tonight.
Man,
you
I should be
have to
paying attention
do
to
it
chat. What's
before
going
the
on here?
I
reaches
mean, you guys are just handing me this.
Oh, I don't know if I should go up and try to find out what the conversation's about or
You can neuter a rooster. That was the question.
Huh.
uh, why? That's what the rooster's for. Other
Well,
than eating.
let's just call it what it is. It's called a vasectomy. All right, we're done.
I
Wonder
mean,
what. Well, I mean,
you go to a vet and ask him to do this?
I understand the results of doing that, but what would be the purpose of doing that? I don't know.
No comment.
Got more questions than answers now.
Oh, it makes them calm. But
Huh.
you don't really want them calm though, because that's roosters are the protector.
When we had
Um,
one particular rooster as a kid, I don't know. It was just different than the rest of them. I still think it was like a bred to be a fighting chicken. I don't know where we got it from, but
oh,
it would get along with everybody. But as soon as my mom would get near it, oh, that chicken would go nuts. She called it the outer space rooster.
outer space rooster. Well, if you get those ones that are like that, you mainly just got to trim them spurs off because those spurs will do some damage.
We ended up selling them to somebody, or somebody got them. We didn't have them too long, but yeah, he didn't like my mom for nothing.
Hmm. Yeah, I seen a video not too long ago about a coyote coming in there and getting a hen. The rooster went after the coyote, and then all of a sudden, here comes the guard dog and saved the hen. Because
Hmm.
usually it's a hawk. It comes down and gets a hen, but um, you'll see them roosters fight off hawks all the time. Yeah, there you go. If a rooster gets too mean, he he, he can always make dinner.
There you go. Who needs an excuse to fry chicken?
Trying to see if they got a link to this book. They only have a picture in here though, and they've got roast possum.
Possums around here are eating good, man. They're huge.
Okay, this is somebody making a comment, and it was Granny Clampit. Trying to see if there's a link to this cookbook. No, that's the same thing.
Hey, what you cooking up today, Granny? Oh, some possum stew. Oh man, Granny, well, she was tough. They don't make them like that no more.
If you ask me, the greatest television cook to ever set a pot on the stove is none other than Granny Clampit. I wish it would show. The website's kind of messed up and won't make the image bigger. Dang, I really. Actually, let's see if I search for it.
They don't have them here as much as they used to when I was a kid, but they used to have these events called Beast Feasts, and it'd be this big deal, and everybody would bring. They'd have normal food, normal food and sides, but they'd have like elk or bear or alligator, wild boar, exotic meats.
Oh,
And there was times they'd have raccoon and possum. I steered away from it though. It looked good.
They actually do have Granny's Beverly Hills cookbook on Amazon. They don't even show if there's any sneak peeks of what's in there. Just kind of looking to see what was in it. Jim Clark and Ken Beck. Forward by Max Bear. Your cousin Jethro.
Jethro!
When it comes to whooping up a mess of victuals, few cooks that can outdo Granny. Huh. I used to love watching Beverly Hills. Old Jed out there hunting,
Thank you, B.
shooting up some food. Up come bubbling brood.
I'm gonna listen to my story about a man named Jed, poor mountaineer, who keep his family fed. Now I got to figure out the rest of them.
Oh, what that is Texas tea.
Crude, right. Next thing you know, Jed's a millionaire.
Beverly Hills is where you should be.
Beverly Hills.
Swimming pools. The old cement pond.
Okay, Granny, they got a cement pond. It ain't got no fish in it. They even made a movie. What was it, like the late 90s or mid 90s? Beverly Hills, the movie.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I don't know if y'all. It's been a while. I don't know if y'all seen it.
Based on the original TV series?
Yeah. I forget who played who. But yeah.
Oh
maybe,
yeah, the like in the 90s or something
yeah.
like that.
I remember as a kid. Yeah. Let me see.
Yeah, here it is. 93. Oh, I can't. It won't show the big picture of it.
It had the guy, Ernest Scared Stupid, play Jed Clampit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I forget his real name.
The guy that played Ernest T.
Yeah,
Uh,
Jim.
That was Jim Varney.
Yeah,
yeah, he played. Yeah, he was the in the movie.
Hmm.
Yeah, he was
I
Jed
didn't think
Clampit.
it wasn't a very good movie, but yeah, now I remember. I remember watching it now.
As a kid, it was funny, but yeah, it was a lot different than the show. You know.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
But then the girl, I can't remember her name. She was in the high school and she wanted to join the wrestling team, and she was out wrestling all the boys.
yeah.
So
Ellie Mae.
yeah,
Yep.
so she couldn't join the girls' team, and she was out wrestling all the boys. I don't know
Hey,
to the
Bigfoot, Josh.
extent, but yeah, that would be a big shock. You know, just think about how many people found oil or something like that on their land. You know,
Yeah,
not saying they moved all the way to Beverly Hills, but people that's truly living off the land, should give them a pile of cash. It ain't gonna mean much for them.
yeah. I think I sure wouldn't move to no Beverly Hills.
You couldn't pay me.
No, I would. I'd sell that property and then find me another bit of property somewhere else that's bigger and better and whatnot. But yeah, that's
It's
yeah. I
just like a
definitely
status
wouldn't.
symbol, just to say you did it. I lived in the hills.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't move to no big city.
Shoot, no. I'm sticking to the back roads.
Is he really still alive?
Max Bear. I don't know who that is. Max Bear.
That's Jethro, isn't it?
Huh. He
Must
might
be.
be the only one still around of the original cast.
Um, let's see. Max Bear.
Their first episodes were in black and white.
Oh dang,
I
he
think.
still is alive. 86 years old.
Hmm.
Let's see. Donna Douglas.
That was
Uh,
Ellie
yeah, she died in 2015. Oh, you know, Buddy Epson's.
Mae. Long
Oh,
gone.
wow. 2003 is when he died. He was, oh man, he almost made it to 100. Yeah, Granny, that's another one. She died in 73. Uh, Nancy Clump. Um, she died in 91. Mr. Drysdale guy. 1980, he passed. But yeah, that's I thought they had all passed. I I don't
Wow.
think that's the same Max Bear though, Jeff.
No.
Unless he was a unless he was a boxer, but yeah. Um. Uh, actually, his name is Max Bear Jr.
Man. We just had somebody here not too far from here on the news that just turned 100 and something.
Oh, yeah, his wife was Joanne Hill. Yeah,
They interviewed.
I don't think it. Yeah, he wasn't a boxer. I
No,
uh,
the years are wrong.
Max
Max Baer was
Max
way
Bear,
before him.
yeah, because that was
Back with Jack Dempsey and
during the war because he
right.
was German.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Joe Louis, when he lost with Joe Louis, that he went in the deep end after that.
Man, you imagine boxing back then?
Yeah.
I've
With those
actually got
gloves.
a book written by I think it is I can't remember his name, but Gentleman Jim. You know who I'm talking about?
Is that the guy that went on like the longest winning streak or something? Or
Well, that's when they fought with fist, and they fought by um there they kept fighting over and over again rounds.
he went the longest from most rounds. He went like 100 and something rounds.
I think there was um, Bonanza. I think he was on Bonanza. Well, somebody portrayed him as on Bonanza one time.
About the real Rocky Marciano.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was him and Joe Louis fight. That was a good one too.
Man, he would just let you gas yourself out, then he just would slowly start taking over.
Yeah. Trying to think.
Boxing's a lot different now. I think the UFC and those other things, they out promote them.
Yeah. Yeah. Now we have Tyson going to be beaten up, or
Tyson
if
versus Jake Paul.
if Tyson loses to this guy, that I'll lose a lot of respect I've had for that. There was a point when Tyson was feared. I mean, they people who got in the ring with him were scared that they weren't going to walk out of that ring. He was so furious, and
Can't
then
blame him.
that thing happened, and uh, stuff in his personal life got to him, and
He
he
got
went
more furious.
downhill from that, and then he went to jail.
It's all like a
Hey, Joe.
spar. It's all about money and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But still, yeah, you reach
his,
that level. You're such a
his trainer.
legend. You're such a
Yeah,
legend. You don't want to take no flop, even if it is a big payday or however. I don't know how they're gonna do it.
yeah.
Yeah, Mike Tyson. Yeah, you had to be nuts to get in the ring with him.
Uh, Remember some of the Hearns and Sugar Ray
Oh
watching
yeah,
them fight as a kid. Oh man, I remember when he did that twisted of his arm and punch with the other hand. I tried to do that and it didn't work. They seen it coming.
yeah. One of my granddads, he loved boxing. He had cable, but the only extra channel he ever had was HBO, so he could watch all his fights on Saturday and stuff. But
Yeah. Oh,
remember,
those were the fights too.
those were the
I
best. Man,
did
I seen some of the best ones and didn't even know it till after the fact. You know how good these guys really were.
I didn't like the announcers. There was two announcers that I disliked because they were always one sided
Oh
until
yeah,
they weren't, and they would flip right really quick.
remember watching
Uh,
that.
do I think he can go the distance? Um, I think I think it, um, there's so many stipulations to this to
Yeah,
where Mike Tyson's not going to make any money off of this, because if Mike Tyson goes in there and knocks him out in the first round, he doesn't get paid.
yeah, yes. There's a lot
He
of
has to
rules.
go to the end of it, and then um, the Paul dude gets to pick uh, the votes or something like that. It's totally rigged. So I just hope he goes in there and doesn't get a payday and plastering all over the place, because I'm so sick of seeing this guy go up there and start thinking he can buy. He may be a good fighter and everything, but no, I I never did like the real cocky ones that disrespected everybody and the sport. Of course, boxing is not much of a sport anymore anyway, but um, way mother way I can't even say his name now. Um, I don't like. I never liked him because
Floyd Mayweather,
yeah, he's
too
I
cocky.
well, he's almost a defensive boxer to
Yeah,
where he won't get up there and stand toe to toe to somebody. When you see somebody that they point at the middle of the ring and they both get up there and start slugging and don't stop until one of them gets knocked out. Those are the good fighters.
yeah. To get inside the phone booth.
Yeah, but you don't. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, it's just something about him I don't I never liked.
Who's that, Bush?
Uh Mayweather.
Oh, Floyd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ollie. Ooh, I don't know. That Ali was his idol. I don't think he would actually fight Ali. You remember what he did with Holmes?
Larry Holmes. Yeah.
Tyson tore him up because of
What he did to Ali,
yeah.
yeah,
Ali was his idol.
I remember that.
Yeah. I Tyson would have took out Frazier though. They were similar, but Tyson was built way different. He wouldn't have been able to handle the hits from Tyson.
Just imagine all the circumstances and right place at the right time that just happened for Tyson to become Mike Tyson, you know?
Oh yeah,
When his trainer or whatever found him, you know what I mean? If they would have never connected, he would have never, who knows what would have happened.
yeah. Yeah, I missed them old boxing. And you could say the same thing about the old wrestling because I don't like the new wrestling.
Nah.
I
I
kind of
mean,
got into it a little bit, with the Ultimate Warrior and some of those back in the day,
mhm.
Macho Man, and
Hogan.
yeah, it seemed it was bigger and stuff like that. Then when everybody started changing to WW, whichever ones they are, the different companies. And
Hmm.
then Hulk Hogan went into being evil Hulk Hogan or whatever.
Right.
Hollywood Hogan,
Yep.
Yeah,
the Wolf
he
Pack.
was just weird.
Oh, Kevin Nash.
Yeah, that's true, Jeff. Tyson fought a lot of these fighters that were 15, 20 years older than him. So it's not really a bellwether, whether he won or not. They
Well,
were
that
advanced.
and that's the thing though is Tyson changed the way everybody was always, this was a thing. He did this thing where all of his power was down here.
Hmm.
Nobody seen those things coming up at him.
No,
It
he'd
was,
bring it. He'd bring it
oh
from the
man,
mat all the way up to you.
yeah,
Mm.
is totally different styles. Um,
I believe that the best fighter pound for pound, and he did beat Ali, even though they gave Ali the win, was Ken Norton. He was a tough, tough man.
oh, is that when Ollie got his jaw broke?
Yep.
Yeah,
Mm.
He won that fight. I don't care what anybody says. He won that. Norton won that fight.
there was a guy. Can't remember his name, but he was huge back in. It was before Lewis.
Oh,
And
Tony Galenta.
I don't know if that was him or not, but he was huge, and um, they actually made a movie of him too. The guy that plays, or Darth Vader, the voice,
Right.
Ray Earl Jones, is that his? Yeah,
Yeah.
Earl
Yeah.
Jones.
he played him. I think this was in the 70s or 80s.
Let me see.
And then I started looking into it and seeing how that guy was bad. he tore people up. But again, that was a different time back then,
Right.
and him being a certain race, he didn't have the rights to fight certain people.
Said it was based on the boxer Jack Johnson,
Was that who? Okay,
and I think the movie was it called The Great White Hope.
I don't know. I just remember watching a movie with him in it, and uh, that I went and that's when he actually had to go to a library and do research. Yeah,
Well,
now you just click a couple buttons and it pops up on the screen.
that's what they called Tommy Morrison. He was the Great White Hope.
Yeah,
And, I mean, that dude could hit. That dude hit harder than Tyson did. But then
yeah,
he got all caught up with
his head got
you know
big.
what? Yeah.
It was kind of like the movie.
Right.
Mm.
uh, I used to like Roy Jones Jr. when he
Mm-hmm.
was in his
Yeah.
prime.
Yep.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Fast.
yeah. I actually have his um, a trading card with his before he was champion.
Mm. Hold on to it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's definitely worth something. Yeah, I remember watching him as a kid, and remember the Klitschko brothers, the heavyweights. I think they were from Russia.
Mm-hmm.
Both of the brothers. I think they tag teamed the titles for a long time.
Nowadays, the people, the ones that I wouldn't want to mess with is Diaz brothers, Nate.
Oh yeah, yeah, those guys are bad for real. Yeah,
They like to get hit.
those are two of my
And
favorite watching
that's
in the UFC.
again, I didn't like watching that with um with the YouTuber guy, whatever his name is.
Oh yeah, yeah, I didn't like watching it neither. It was just yeah,
It was
I think it
so
was
fake.
set up. Yeah,
Yeah, because I know him. If he gets hit, yeah, you're done. I'm not saying those brothers are the best fighters or anything, but they're just mean. And
how
there's
about that?
a Russian
Just like
guy that used to be a special forces and
Klitschko. I'm not Klitschko, but I know you're talking about.
You're talking about the UFC fighter, the Russian?
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. As
Oh, now I got to think about this.
soon as you say his name, I'll remember. But yeah, I can picture him.
He's got a buzz cut all the time.
oh yeah, he's another one that's
He's
you
he's got it hanging by a trigger finger. That dude.
yeah, that's another one you wouldn't want to mess with.
No, he's hands on for real.
Yeah.
He'll flip you for real. Remember Butterbean?
Oh yeah.
Nobody would ever thought this guy would do what he did, and he just was knocking everybody out.
Yeah. Have you seen him lately though?
Yeah, believe it or not, I just seen a couple weeks back. I watched this video. Remember Diamond Dallas Page, DDP,
Yep.
the wrestler? He
Yeah.
does this like yoga type therapy and stuff like that, rehabilitation. And I seen where Butterbean went there. Yeah, he was in bad shape, man. Couldn't even hardly walk, stand up, or nothing.
Yeah. That oh, that one big bodybuilder. He has to walk. His legs are gone. And he has to walk around on those
Yeah,
canes and stuff. Hey, Greg. Thank you for 32 months.
it's awesome. Especially like the guys used to be on the juice and stuff, and you see them now, you're like, whoa, man, what happened?
Yeah.
All the air is gone.
Yeah. Yeah. I laughed because you would see the videos of him on the Tough Man contest. I remember when those things were big too.
Yeah. They used to have one here in the city, but that's been forever ago.
Yeah, but I remember, and then he went into professional, and everybody said, "Oh, he's not going to do anything." He knocked out the first guy. I don't know what his record was, but it was pretty good.
That's like the guy, pretty sure you heard of him, Brock Lesnar. He started out as a wrestler, then
Yeah,
went into wrestling, then went to the UFC and won a belt. You know,
That's
Yeah.
just like Kurt Angle was an Olympian.
1996 gold medal, Atlanta, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, he's made some million with the wrestling deal.
Yeah, I think when it was when UFC was just getting started. I think was it Matt Holmes?
Sounds familiar.
The short fighter.
Yeah,
He was
I
a
Like
school
remember.
back in the,
teacher too.
it's like back in the Ken Shamrock days.
Yeah, I remember him getting rocked. I mean, fell to the ground and he was just barely there. And the guy came up behind him and was choking him out, and he refused to tap out. And he got out of it, and then ended up making the other guy tap out. That was one of the best. And his friend that he trained with, I can't remember, was a school teacher. I can't remember his friend that wrestled.
I can see him. I just don't remember
He was taller,
Yeah.
and I remember because he was a teacher, and the students would, whenever there was a championship thing, the students would say, "Oh, he's just so kind," and you know, but he get in the ring, and it was a totally different person.
Man, something else.
Yeah.
There you go, Rich Franklin. That's it.
Oh, yeah. That's who it is.
HHH. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know who else was very tough too? Was a little guy, BJ Penn. Whoa,
BJ
Oh, yeah.
Penn, yeah. I
tough.
used to like watching him.
Yeah.
Him and is it George St. Pierre? They had some
George
epic,
St. Pierre.
epic battles.
Another one I used to like. I can see his name. I can almost get it. Yoser or something like that. He's a blonde guy, and he always would, do his hair up in weird ways. And he wasn't in the UFC. He was in the other one that was popular at the time.
The Pride Fighting League.
I can't remember what it was called, but
You know, they had the Pride fights. They were in Japan, and most of those fights, they didn't even have rules, So it was just, they were going at it however,
yeah. Oh, yeah, that's who it is.
Yeah, Uriah Faber.
Yeah,
I remember him.
yeah. I remember the
I think
battles
he's out of Cali.
they used to have.
They
And
call him the Carpenter.
you can almost see when they start getting out of their prime to when they start going, and I was like, oh no, because he was one of my favorites. Oh yeah. Oh, and I'm sure you're gonna know this one too. There was a Asian guy that was fighting somebody, and he broke his leg on a kick.
Yeah. The tall black man.
No. It
saw
was
it.
before this.
It was before that episode.
And he actually he stopped going. He stopped fighting, and he went into the movies.
Hmm.
Huh.
Oh.
Oh,
Well, a lot of UFC guys went into the movies. Like
Oh yeah, the Cabbage Patch Ear guy.
yeah, Randy Couture.
Yeah, that's him.
Then there was what was the guy that wore the chains and had the gold teeth? Shit.
Ooh,
Yeah, he played in A-Team.
Right.
Um,
Come
I
on.
can think of his name, but now I can't think of his name. Man, can't think of his name.
Yeah, Rampage. Yeah.
Rampage.
Yeah, Rampage Jackson. That's his name. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, that's
Remember
who
that?
he played was Mr. T.
Mr. T. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
I thought he did good. His acting wasn't quite, but either was Mr. T. Mr. T wasn't that great of an actor.
I made a 2-egg omelet with bacon bits and off the block shredded cheddar with breakfast fruit and a half an English muffin. That's it.
Yes, I'm growing cabbage.
Sounds mighty fine.
Yeah, it came out okay. It's kind of hard to screw up an egg, but you know.
No, I don't think it was him. I'm trying to think what movies I seen him in, so I could search the movie.
What wrestler are you talking about?
The Asian one.
The Asian guy. Can't think of it.
They could just jump up and kick somebody in the head in that one.
There were a UFC fighter?
No, it wasn't USC. It was the other one.
Oh boy. Gonna have to do a deep dive on that one.
Yeah.
And he's like in the Stallone movies with like Jason Statham and Rampage and all those type of movies.
Well, yeah.
Chung Lee? Was his name Chung Lee?
That sounds good. Let me see.
Let me see if I can send this to you. I don't know.
Lee. I think it was. Well,
Lee with one
Oh,
E.
you mean Jet Li?
No, CUNGLE, one E.
Was this a big dude?
No,
I think he's a smaller guy.
Oh yeah, that's him.
Jet Li.
Kung Lee.
Kung Lee.
Yeah.
Chung Lee. I don't know what I said. I think I said Chung Lee.
I thought you said Chum Lee from
That's on Street Fighter. I was like, I know it sounds familiar.
Sorry, that probably messed everybody up.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah. He'll flip you for real.
Yeah, he was another one of my favorites, and then that happened, and then he went to acting.
Who was I mentioned this before. It was UFC. He was very, very good fighter. Real tall black guy. And he went to do a leg kick on his opponent, and he broke his own leg. And it was just hanging there.
John Jones.
Who was it? John
Jones.
It could have been him.
Either him or Anderson Silva.
No, I think it was Jones. But man, that was...
Yeah, I can, if I see him, I know who.
That was pretty gross. That's like back in the day when Lawrence Taylor broke Joe Theismann's leg.
Yeah, I think it was him. He doesn't look like he used to, though.
I think he quit, didn't he? Didn't he quit?
He came back.
He came back and
how much he
came back and won the title, but he hadn't came back since then.
Yeah.
So they originally had him penciled in to fight this past weekend. They just had UFC 300, which turned out to be a pretty decent card, but
Yeah.
he wasn't quite ready to fight yet. So they put a couple other title belts on there.
I wonder how much
Yeah.
metal he's got in his leg.
Especially the type of fighter he is, it takes away that confidence of being able to do what you want to do with it. Still, though, broken leg or not, he's still a bad one.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Spinning back kicks and all that.
Yeah. Yeah, evidently it's supposed to be in the one of the fights was supposed to be the best of the year. Best fight of the year.
There was a couple of them.
Yeah.
There's just one guy, I forget his last name. His first name is Bo. And I think he won this fight, so I think he's like 6-0 or 7-0. And the fight went the distance, but clearly he was winning the fight on the card. But right at the last second, he knocked the guy out, and the guy was falling to the mat, and the referee stopped it with 1 second to go.
Oh, is that where he goes out and points at the ground and say, "Get in the middle here"? And
Either that one, or it was the Oliveira versus I forget the other guy, and it went to the very end, and the guy, man, he had him in a bad choke. I don't know how he wasn't tapping out, but he was in the choke for 45 seconds until the bell sounded, and he got up and started cheering like he was never even in the choke. And I said, man, this guy is insane.
I seen the clips of the one with the girl in the cowboy hat.
Oh yeah, the women. Yeah, the women that was a championship fight. That was a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, I won't pay for them. I'll just wait till they come out on YouTube and rewatch them.
Oh yeah.
Because that there's somebody recording. They'll buy it and they'll record it and be the first one to get it on TikTok or YouTube, and they get a bunch of views.
Mm-hmm. That's like it's like with the wrestling now. Jake Paul's brother Logan. He's behind the Prime. So that's plastered everywhere through wrestling now, and he's wrestling as a wrestler. So he gets to promote his business the whole time he's on the show.
Well, his brother's supposed to fight Tyson, isn't he? Jake Paul?
Yeah. Yep. That's crazy. They started out as Disney kids.
I think the Tyson just needs to connect once. It's going to be lights out.
Yeah. I mean, you see both of them hitting the bags and stuff. You see a big difference.
Mm-hmm. Kinetic energy. Of course, if it goes to the ground, oh no, it's a boxing match. You can't go.
Yeah.
No. Everybody has their strengths and weaknesses, so.
Paul may have a little bit more stamina because he's younger, but Tyson, he's still got the power. You know what I mean? I think in a street fight, I think we know who would win.
He'd just bite him. He wouldn't even box.
Give me your ear, guy.
Yeah.
See what you
Come
get
here.
a little bite.
Jeff, my ringer's off, by the way. Oh yeah,
I get-
that's why I hope. I hope there's no more after that. I don't want to have to see any more of it. The little skits and people being paid off to throw the match. I hate that.
yeah, it kills the real sport.
Yeah.
It's not so much skill anymore. It's more for entertainment on all levels as far as stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. What did you have for dinner? What?
Well, I hadn't had nothing yet. I'll
Oh,
probably make me a sandwich or a salad or stuff.
uh,
That's what I might do. I might make me a salad. I got everything to do it, ready to go.
I made spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Yeah,
Sounds
with
good.
with my spaghetti sauce I canned last year.
It's even better.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of money involved in that.
I don't know. I mean, it's probably got a script somewhere, but I know that Jake Paul said some pretty hurtful things about Tyson's deceased daughter,
Daughter. Yeah.
which is, you just don't do that to anybody. So he's
Uh,
probably his right hand is already loaded, waiting to get in that ring for that.
Yeah. Yeah. If it's true and not scripted,
Well, it's
yeah.
it's on
because
it's
he's
somewhere. It's on recording.
he's a
So
calm person now, but there's a thing. Once that switch is flipped,
click.
yeah, you don't want that, Tyson.
No. Yeah, I think he's learned to calm down a lot now. But he was just surrounded by a lot. Besides his manager, the guy I forget his name, Gus. Besides Gus, once Gus passed,
Oh,
he was
you talking
he was
about
just
Customato?
yeah,
Yeah,
Gus, yeah.
he raised that
Yeah.
guy.
He was just surrounded by so many vultures and bad people that just wanted to use him.
Yeah,
$10,000 a day for towels, that adds up quick.
yeah. That's like the stuff behind Elvis, and you see so many stories like that. There's somebody raking in the money, and
Yep. Follow the money. No matter
yeah,
what you're talking about, follow the money. Some of it's probably true, though. Because, I mean, when you think about it, the amount of people that are on this planet, billions and billions of people, there's all kinds of shenanigans going on, you know?
oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Look at the government.
Well, that too. But, I mean, you can't police the whole population. That's
Yeah, and the thing is,
Excuse me.
we all talk about the government, but there's another group behind the government that
right.
is moving its players around.
Like a
And
chessboard.
yeah, we've talked about it many times. Um, Peanut was up here. He would be saying,
Yeah, it's the 13 families and
yeah,
it breaks down.
yeah. I mean, you could go back in time and you could see where, you know, the Rome and the church or I should say the Catholic Church, um, ran things and had kings poisoned and things like that. Can't there was a series. Um, oh man, I wish I could remember the name of it now.
The West Wing.
No, this was in Dark Ages type thing. It was with
Dark Ages.
I can't remember it now. Trying to remember the name of it, but they found out that whoever the Catholic, the Pope was at the time, was in charge of, manipulating things and stuff, and they had the whole. They had most of their unit, I guess you would call them, killed off or tried to kill them off.
Mm.
It was kind of like the Knights Templar.
I think I know. Was this a one movie or was it a series? It was a series or just a movie?
It was a series. I think there was 2 or 3 seasons of it.
Mm.
And they actually, whoever the director was, I forget what the director, but actually did the research behind it and found and used true stuff that actually happened and stuff. And of course, it's they're always going to have a spin on it to make it more watchable and stuff. But
Right.
the majority of it was true. The storyline was the true part of it.
Right.
Oh no, it wasn't Vikings. I think it was on. It started on Netflix. I'm not sure.
History says today in 1912, the Titanic sank.
Oh wow.
Mm.
Oh yeah, it's April 15th, isn't it? That's when it's taxes. Your deadline for taxes is when Titanic sank.
My heart will go on.
Hey, there may or may not be a reasoning behind that. It's also the day that Lincoln passed away.
Oh wow.
Yesterday was the day that the theater incident happened. I didn't notice some years back. That was only one part of the story. He had a bunch of co-conspirators that were doing other things that night as well. But he, of course, him and the incident with Lincoln, that gets the main thing, of course.
Yeah, wasn't the vice president had a thing, attempt on him.
Yeah, they went to one of the senators' homes.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff, but yeah, you're right. It's always the president's thing. The theater,
Yeah,
they don't play the other stuff that went on.
yeah. Somebody says, "Yeah, have you ever heard of David Herald?" And I say, "No." I said, "Well, have you heard of John Wilkes Booth?" "Yeah." "Well, David Herald was his co-conspirator." You never hear the other guy.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
I did see that movie. I will say I did see it.
Yeah.
It was better than I thought.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be kooky.
Yeah,
know,
I had
'cause-
low standards coming in.
It was actually pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean, for what it was.
yeah, for what it was, yeah.
I got to see Napoleon with Joaquin Phoenix. I keep
I haven't
seeing
seen that yet.
pretty good previews on the tube, but I don't know how it did. I just like the history of war and all that. So.
Yeah.
All the
Did you-
CG they use.
Did you guys see Civil War yet?
No, but it was #1 over the weekend. It knocked Godzilla out of the number one.
Really?
Yep.
I
I'm
started
hearing.
watching it.
I've heard a lot of people say it's trash.
I've heard that.
And I'm talking for prepper type people, or right side type people.
Right.
You can tell when something don't look authentic or that's not what would happen, you know?
Yeah.
I started watching it, but I was kind of sleepy. I only got about 20 minutes into it.
Yeah, I was thinking about going, and then I'll just wait until it comes on one of my what you call it things, and watch it for free.
Yeah.
Christmas time is a good time to get like the HBO Max thing. You can get a year for like $10 or $12. Same thing with Stars. I got Stars for $6 for a year.
Ain't bad.
But you have to remember to cancel it. If not, then they'll get you on the next month at that 13th month.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking because I can't remember his name now. Let me see. Well, I have to get Vineyard Chick's link real quick.
I think another movie I stumbled across. I don't know if y'all seen it. It's called The Meal. That was
Sounds
the.
familiar.
It's kind of hard to describe, really, but it's a pretty interesting movie. I thought pretty good, interesting concept.
There you are. Live. Okay, let's see what they got for tonight. Daylight is there, and then Dare You to Move. Oh, that's a good one. The Goodness. Bring Me to Life. Another good one. Heaven Changes Everything. Meant to Live. Voice of Truth. Anymore. Wind Beneath My Wings.
It's a good lineup.
The Wreckage. And One Love. And Believer.
Cool.
So they got a pretty good lineup tonight. Well, I was gonna put their link in their channel. There you go. And that will be in about 15 minutes.
And that's the rest of the story. And we still got a local radio station that still plays some of his clips.
Paul Harvey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have a Paul Harvey hour.
Yeah, I got video coming out tomorrow, which I didn't get my Bushcrafty talks out either today, so I might put that out later. But tomorrow got a video coming out about illegal immigrants and crime rates that are not being reported.
Heavens, no, I don't believe it.
Yeah, and it's when I started digging into some of this, wow, it's horrible.
Yep.
Oh man, and you don't see it. You unless you go
No.
looking for this stuff.
Yep.
It's not posted anywhere. There are websites that is keeping track of it though.
Yep.
Some bad stuff.
Yeah.
Get your pills, people. Get your pills. That's why they've been moving them strategically all over this great country.
Yeah, and it's going to be harder to purchase the pew-pews with the new law thing. Of course, it's going to be run through the court system too, but as of now, I think it's, like I said, it's illegal to sell.
Are you talking about private sales?
Yeah, if you make a profit from it, you have to have a license now.
Someone will have that'll be on a court docket probably tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I think
and
it's
the judge will put a stay on it, and Uncle Joe
already is.
Blow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the case. I just say I sold it for $1, or how you used to do with the registration or something. I don't know.
Is like that the guy in Ohio that robbed a bank with his cell phone that the government gave him, and said get the phone told him, put the money in the bag.
And they traced it.
They didn't give it to him though. He didn't have anything. He just held the phone up, and then they found him walking down the street, and they said he tried to say the phone misunderstood what he was saying or something like that. He wanted to get his money out of the bank, and he said, "You don't have a bank account." Oh,
how do you rob a bank with a phone?
He didn't know how to speak English, so
okay.
he used a translator, and then put the money in the bag.
That's even worse.
I said no, because he wasn't didn't have a weapon or anything. He just said it. And the thing is, well, I don't want to ruin the whole video by talking about it now, but they can't be charged for anything. They can be held until the other company comes by and sends them back, and then they just walk back over and get more money.
Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely something else.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot more than the little bit we hear and see about, for sure.
Oh yeah. And one of the biggest, well, I Nunya, Texas, in the back 40, he made a video today about he went to get his driver's license renewed, and they said he couldn't get his driver's license. He needed his birth certificate and social security number or card. He has his driver's license that he's been using for countless years, and that wasn't enough. And he said, it makes no sense. Why do I have to give all this documents when you never had to? All you had to do is give your card. And we have people coming over, the border and whatnot, and they don't have to show anything.
Yeah, you're right about that. They make you do a lot more now than when I first got mine. Like, come on, man. Y'all make a note. I'm coming in here every year. You know that I'm coming. You know I'm coming back. How do you not know who I am?
How do they not know their own driver's license? I mean, you issue license every day. You can't tell if it's fake or not.
That's why they got the barcodes on the back. They can just scan them.
Yeah. Some say that there's actual chips in them now, the newer ones.
Oh, I believe it. Be harder to convince me there wasn't.
Yeah. Well, it's about that time, so want to see everybody over at the Vineyard Chicks. They may have something to talk about here within the next week, so you want to make sure you don't miss it. I'll leave it at that. But I'll go ahead and put out the intro or outro. I got a live tomorrow. Let me check real quick how many channels we have so far for tomorrow. Oh, we got 10. Even though we have 2 people that signed up twice. What?
I'm sorry. I think I did click the link multiple times. I might have got too excited. I will admit that. I was thinking that as you were saying it. I'm like, that sounds like me.
But yeah, well, at least there's eight channels, but there are a lot of new channels that signed up. So make sure you're here tomorrow. I think I set it for 8:00 for tomorrow. So we'll see you then. Let me go ahead and hit the outro, which I need to update this week too. And we'll see you over at the Vineyard Chicks.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.